If all things are determined by something other than me, which is what follows from E.D.D, then I think calling anything free is merely a rhetorical euphemism designed to avoid the real issue. Make no mistake, I am an ardent incompatibilist in this vital sense. After all, if I evaluate all propositions and premises based upon my greatest desires of what I want to be true, and these greatest desires in turn determine my ultimate judgments, which in turn determine my beliefs, then I have an undercutting defeater to my beliefs that follow from my extremely biased thinking for at least two reasons. One, subjective greatest desires provide horrible reasons to think a proposition is objectively true. And two, subjective greatest desires that are determined by something or someone else that is either non-rational or who is untrustworthy are even worse reasons to think a proposition is true. If all things are determined by something other than me, which is what follows from E.D., then I think calling anything free is merely a rhetorical euphemism designed to avoid the real issue. If I am determined to fulfill my greatest subjective desire, which was also determined and not up to me at the moment in question, then it's trivially true that nothing prevents me from fulfilling my determined and greatest desire, even though I was prevented from desiring otherwise via antecedent conditions. Big deal. This so-called freedom simply means that nothing was determined to stop something else that was determined. Now, that reminds me, some compatibilists might respond, but we have guidance control, they say. Well, it seems, however, that appealing to guidance control doesn't do anything to get the exhaustive determinist off of any hooks. After all, one's controllings and the exact way one guides their thoughts are also completely determined by something or someone else if all things are determined. So this appeal does not seem to provide the control condition sufficient to ground desert responsibility. And this is why John DePoe describes humanity as nothing but passive cogs on this exhaustive deterministic view. Not only does this passive cogness oppose the teachings of Scripture, it also stands opposed to our direct experience, that we have the active power to take thoughts captive, like we see in 2 Corinthians 10:5, before bad thinking takes us captive, Colossians 2:8.